Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Alex. I'm the founder of IX Media. Made about $500,000 in email and SMS marketing revenue. In this video, I just wanted to show you how to create lists and segments within Klaviyo so you can decide who you want to send your emails out to. So let's get right to it. Number one, go to Klaviyo. Number two, you're going to go under audience. So it's going to look like this for you. Hit audience and then lists and segments. Next up, what you're going to do is you're going to have the list that you already have here. So if you already have them, you're going to keep them here. If you want to create a new one, you're going to hit create and you're going to have two different options. You could either create a list or a segment. Put it very, very simply, a list is a stagnant list. So it means it doesn't grow and it doesn't shrink. It stays the same unless you manually add people to that list. A segment, on the other hand, is probably where you're going to be using most of the time, and that's a list that shrinks and increases in size depending on what the condition is within that segment. Let's go with segment, and then I'll quickly show you lists because it's more, you're going to use segments more. Right now, let's just start off with a basic list that you're probably going to be using. So first off, you're going to hit begin, type in or click in section. If you want, you could do the AI thing, which is like try an example prompt, and then you could type in whatever. What I'm going to do is show you how to manually do it just so you understand the fundamentals. Almost always you're going to start off with if someone can or cannot receive email marketing. So it's very, very important. Can somebody receive email marketing? This is like the basic. You're always going to do this most of the time. You're going to hit add condition. Now, and or here's the difference. And means anything. So they can receive email marketing, but they also have to have whatever you put down. Or is they could receive email marketing or they could have this. So obviously, if you have an and condition, so if I put this, the list is going to be small comparative to this. So the most amount of people it's going to have is 52,000. It's not going to increase. If you have or, because now you're giving it two different options, it could pick from two different pools independent of each other, it's probably going to be bigger than together. But let's go and, right? This is the basic one. So I'm going to create your basic like 30-day engagement list. So you're going to hit if someone can receive email marketing. And then now we're going to put what someone has or has not done. You're almost always going to pick has or has not done. And then now you could be specific. Let's create your basic list. So let's say opened email at least once. So this is, have they opened an email within the last 30 days? At least once within the last 30 days. Now in this, it's 19,000. As I mentioned, if you have an and, it's probably going to be smaller, right? The first one is 52,000. Next one is 19,000. But let's keep going, right? So now we're going to hit or. Because again, what I want to make sure everybody in this list has done is subscribe to email marketing. Now everything underneath it, I'm going to make it an or because they could either open an email, they could either be active on site, they could either click on an email, anything like that. So now we're going to hit what someone has or has not done, and I'm going to make it an or, so they could either have open an email or, and we're going to pick clicked email at least once in the last 30 days. Obviously, anybody who has clicked an email in theory would have opened the email, but Klaviyo has this little glitch that sometimes it doesn't fully capture everybody, so it's important to have both. But anyways, that's the basic one. Let's open it up a little bit. So when someone has or has not done, I'm like, okay, they could either open the email, they could have clicked on my email, but let's make it a little bit more broad, right? We're going to make it anybody who has or has not done, and we're going to put active on site. Right? So they could have either opened my email, they could have clicked on my email, or they could have just been on my site. Not even opened my email, clicked on an email, but they could have just been on site. You see, we had an extra 1,000 email subscribers come in. And this is usually the basic, email list that you're going to have. Now, if you want to expand it, you could go 60 days as well. Technically, you go whatever you want, but let's just, so you could see the difference. If you increase it, it's obviously going to be a little bit bigger. So now it's 21,179. If you want to increase it to 90 days, it's going to go a little bit bigger. And it's maybe 22,000, 23, 21,000. In this specific case, just don't worry why it's not going so much higher because this is a brand new Klaviyo account. But in this context, for you, it'll probably go up by a massive amount. Now, that's how you create your basic Klaviyo segment. If you want to create a little bit more tight, because this is very important. Let's just say you have a brand new Klaviyo account, right? And then you don't have, you've never sent emails on this account before. Nobody's opened your email because you haven't sent any. You could say anybody who has placed an order. So placed order at least once in the last 30 days. We're going to take these two off. So again, has email marketing as well as placed order, it's 641. So think about it. When you're starting your own, Klaviyo account and you're trying to build up that list and trying to get your deliverability better, you could start off with a smaller list, a tighter list. So this is placed order at least once in the last 30 days, and you know that these people are very engaged with your brand, right? Somebody just bought from you in the last 30 days. Now, it doesn't have to be placed order. It could also be active on site. So active on site is at least in the last 30 days, 2,228. Let's just say there's a brand new account and this is the very first email you're going to send out. Let's try to make it go, at least 200 profiles. So instead of 30 days, let's do 3 days. It's going to be like 200 to 300, 400, 450. So now let's try to make it active on site in the last 2 days. 325, that's a good number. So in this case, if I was just starting to warm up this brand's deliverability, I would go anybody who has subscribed to email marketing and has been active on the site. That means they visited your site, they've been engaged with it at least once in the last 2 days. Now, as time goes on, you're going to be building off of that. So now instead of 2 days, now I'm maybe going to go 4 days, and it's going to double. Maybe go 8 days, it's going to double. And then maybe let's just say I want to try another segment out. I'm going to go add condition and or in this case, I'm going to make it an or condition. Okay. And then we're going to do, there you go, when someone has or has not done, and let's go placed order again. Placed order at least once in the last 30 days. That's a good sign. Another really good segment to try out is when someone has or has not done, subscribed to email marketing at least once in the last 30 days. That's a really good segment because these people literally just subscribed to your email marketing, so they're probably more engaged than people who have placed an order because they literally just subscribed. I'll give you one last example. Let's just say you don't want to bug people after they bought from you, right? Which is a smart move. Somebody just bought from you. They don't want to keep getting promotional emails until maybe they're finished with their product. So what you could do, someone can or cannot receive email marketing. As you can see, that's a constant. We're always going to keep that. And then we could do placed order at least once in the last. And then here's where you think about your average buying cycle. So for example, on average, somebody uses your products they finish using your products every 30 days. You could put placed order at least once in the last 30 days. And when I send out another email campaign, especially if it's some type of promotional campaign, maybe it's a sale, anything like that, you could create this segment. So literally if someone can or cannot receive email marketing, someone has or has not done, placed an order at least once in the last 30 days, you could use this segment in your campaigns to exclude anybody in this list. So I might have opened your emails, but you don't want to send me another email because I just bought and you don't want to annoy me, you don't want to do any of that. You could exclude this segment, and that way you could send to anybody who has opened your emails in the last 30 days but hasn't placed an order because they're obviously still open to maybe buy. So that's how you create list and segments within Klaviyo. I'll give you one more, which I think is pretty important if you're trying to make a VIP list. And what you're going to do is this. Let me break it down. So if you want to make a VIP list, what you're going to do is predictive analytics about somebody. So again, usually we use if someone can or cannot receive email marketing, when someone has or has not done. This one you're going to do predictive analytics about somebody. Historic customer lifetime value. So this is their LTV. How much has this person bought in the last is at least, and then here you could put whatever the number. So let's just say that you have 10,000 people who have bought from you, right? And out of those 10,000, you want to make your top 10% of engaged customers. Just think about it. Okay, well, what's 10% of 10,000? That's 1,000. And all you got to do is change this number so that this list is about 1,000. And in this case, we're going to make it historic customer lifetime value is at least 165. So that means the top 10% of customers, in this case, is anybody who's placed roughly at least $165 worth of orders for your brand. Now, let's just say you want to make it top 1%, right? What's 1% of 10,000? Assuming that you have 10,000 customers, that's 100. What you're going to do now is you're going to try to make the list as close as possible to hit 100. So this is 165. Let's do 300. And again, this number should be around 100. So that's still a little bit more. So let's maybe do it at 350. Really close now. Let's do it maybe at 450, another $100 higher. Okay, maybe $600, but that may be too much. Yeah, 100. Okay, so let's do maybe 650. That should be enough, right? 650, so 675. Boom, right there. So I know my top 1% customer list, the amount of people who have placed the most amount of orders with me, are people who have placed in orders that have been at least $675 in lifetime value. Anyways, that's how you create segments within Klaviyo. If you want to see how to create a list, click this video hopefully, and then you could see how to create a list within Klaviyo with your own profiles, SMS subscribers, email subscribers, etc., etc. God bless you guys. Talk to you soon. All the best. Bye-bye. There we go.